Hi, I'm Esperanza and this is Art from the Heart at St. Augustine's Church. And today, our subject is roses, and we are going to paint roses in different ways. For this session, we are going to do a very stylized version of the rose, which is made of spirals. And as you can see there, it still represents the rose because of the basic shape, which is a spiral. However, it is very abstract and stylized. And I have another version of this art piece here, which has a gold outline. And this one with a black outline. Actually, when you do this style, you can use any color for the outline, but it's best if contrasts the paint inside the flower and the leaves, of course, as well as the background. So let's start our session with our roses. Okay, so here's a sheet of paper, and this is what we're going to sketch on it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to draw that spiral for the flower on top. I'm intentionally making this bigger, and I would probably put the flowers closer to each other. Slightly different from this one. But what I would like to retain is the difference in the shape of the stem as part of it being very stylized. So there are three. Let me make, how many more? One more. Okay. You can paint as many flowers as you want, of course. It depends on you. So for this one, I will do the stem for this one first. I'll just make it a wavy one. And for this one, maybe just a curved one. Okay, even if it's a stylized for art piece, of course, I want the stem to still appear continuous. So this is still part of the stem of the flower you see on top. And this one, since we have enough space, I will create a stem that's slightly like this one. I think that is lovely. Now it's just time to create the leaves. So let's draw those leaves. Lovely. Then here. Oops. Okay, that's perfect. Again, this doesn't have to have this, the leaves don't have to be the same shape nor appearance as the real rose leaves. So again, we are creating leaves for the roses, stems for the roses, but again, it's stylized to match the flowers that we have been painting. So let's start. And to begin, I showed you the art piece we did in class earlier. We have a blue background. And that's what I want to do. I want to create a blue background. And to do that, I am going to paint the whole thing with water, except for the flowers. And then I am going to paint it with blue. There. That is lovely. Okay. I think I went over some of the flowers. I just need to dry those areas, and that is to prevent any. Well, we can have some paint on the flowers, but I just don't want it to be too much. See, that's okay, but not just too much, and that's what I'm afraid of. If we have water inside the flower itself, it could become too much. Oh, I love my blue background. Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, so now all we have to do is to let it dry. And because we have warm weather today, that wouldn't be a problem. So let me just set it aside and let it dry. So once it's dry, we'll start painting the flowers and then the leaves. Here it is. It's almost completely dry. But the area here where the flowers are seems to be dry enough for us to paint our flowers. So we will start. So we'll paint red roses. And I will start here. So I just paint the whole thing red. And as you can see here, the overlap between red becomes purple. So if I wanted purple roses, I could have just painted everything blue and then painted red over the flowers. Oh, aren't they just so beautiful? I do love flowers, all of them. Okay, so we've done 3 flowers now. There we go. So we finished painting the flowers. Now we're going to start with the leaves. Since we've already painted with an underpaint of blue, we can paint it with yellow to create green. Okay, I'm using lemon yellow and I start here where it's completely dry. Or I might be wrong. It's not completely dry. So some parts of it are still bleeding into each other, but that's fine. Not to worry. We can cover that with the outline later on. As long as it's not too wet. Because if it is too wet, the bleed would actually extend to a larger area. And with that, we would need to lift and paint it again. So this is still okay. There we go. We now have the leaves. So we just have to let this dry completely, and then we can paint the black outline. Now, as I can see here, some areas have already dried. So I'm going to start painting those areas, and I'll paint the rest of it later on once they are dry. Okay, so I will start here with this one. There we go. We have one flower. And then this is the next rose. Wow. We can actually do this for make personalized greeting cards for friends and family. And we can even make roses of their favorite colors. Yes, that area is still wet, so I cannot paint it. I would have to wait until it's completely dry. Okay, I think I can paint part of the stems, but the leaves are still wet, so I have to avoid them for now, just for now. Okay. And I'm going to start with this one, which is furthest from my hand, because I am going to try to minimize the risk of smudging the paint. Though there's no guarantee. Knowing me, there's no guarantee. Okay, so the leaves are all still wet, so we have to wait for them and just paint all of them. So let's wait for that, and let's get back to this painting once it's completely dry so we can finish painting the outline. Some areas on the leaves are now dry, but it's still not completely dry, so I still have to avoid those areas which are wet. Hopefully I can, but let's do an attempt. Okay, that's one leaf. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, this one is still wet, so I made a mistake there. However, at home, you can take your time and let it dry. I missed that one. Probably because it's still kind of wet. There we go. We now have the first set of roses for our subject roses. Oh, I missed that one as well. So basically it's going to be the same thing as this. It's going to have the outline, and you can have more or less flowers, and like this one. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can also use different colors for the outline. So in this one I use gold, so this one is black. So it's up to you, whatever you think is most suitable. And again, you can use this to make greeting cards for friends and family, very personalized ones, or maybe just paint for fun. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the session. The next session would be about roses again, also very stylized, but with a little bit more details. So see you soon. Bye-bye.